Hello and welcome to the AV Masterclass 2020. This is week one and we are here in our Studio B at the Aztec warehouse. To recap, we've got 6 microphones that we kind of touched upon today. We have our lectern microphone, which is perfect for kind of those static situations where you're at a lectern or a podium and you've got an ad hoc announcement that you might want to make, or your presenter is static and not moving at all. I've said static a lot.
If you have a lot of the time we double up, so we do incorporate a lapel or headset as well as using a lectern mic in certain events. So if you have someone who's consistently presenting an award show, then for example, then we might double up on it. So then we have full control, and they have that freedom to move away from that position. But at the same time, if you have more traffic, then we don't want to be. It's not in your interest to be putting on headsets on every individual. So, it can be really costly in that way. And the more affordable option is usually the better one in that circumstance.
For sure. And then we have the tabletop microphone, really only for those tabletop environments where you've got a panel of speakers behind a table. I wouldn't really use that in any other situation. They're kind of very much limited to that kind of use. And then finally, in that kind of topic, we have the cable microphone, which is a music and kind of band and musician kind of microphone. It can be used for ad hoc announcements if you've kind of got a low budget, but generally I wouldn't use it as a kind of your main microphone to present with, Yeah, definitely. Then we have our 3 wireless microphones. We have your headset microphone that we're wearing now, good for moving around, kind of not as kind of secret and what is the word I'm looking for? Discreet, that's the word I'm looking for. Not as discreet as the lapel microphone. The lapel microphone's there for the corporate kind of environment. So you've got that kind of nice conference feel. You don't see the microphone on the person's lapel or jacket or whatever. And then finally, we have the handheld microphone, where we can do the handheld dance again. Doing the handheld dance. I'm trying to get it to TikTok.
Mate,
So, because I wanted to make sure that these sessions were educational for the people watching, and so they felt like they could take away some kind of like learning process. Yeah. So we've put together a bit of a quiz. So if you want to head over to slido.com /Aztec Masterclass. So you can just join on your browser or your phone, or on your kind of computer screen. So if you head over to there, we've got a question up, and we're going to put 3 questions up.
Let's see who's in.
The results are. So everyone went with the headset microphone. Most people went with a headset microphone. Some people went with handheld. Some with lapel. And then we got a couple right at the end who went for lectern. Interesting. So
a lot of people do request lapels. Yeah, they can be used, but they're going to be quite tough to deal with feedback and then taking on noise from the environment. And no one wants that from a presentation.
No, for sure. Is what precautions or methods will you implement with hygiene of these pieces of audio given the current climate? That's a really good question.
Really good question. So we have a new procedure. So every microphone will be cleaned and bagged up in a sealed bag with documentation stating what date this was and who did it. So 72 hours until that goes out on site.
How do we eliminate feedback in an exhibition space? Well, hopefully what we've kind of shown you today in regards to our videos and picking the appropriate microphone for the appropriate situation is going to be one of the key factors in eliminating feedback in an exhibition space. What is the maximum amount of radio mics you can have on one show?
As many licenses we can get.
Yeah, so the issue that we have with radio microphones is the frequencies. So you can only have a certain amount of frequencies within a range before Ofcom, who we buy our frequencies from. Is it Ofcom? It is Ofcom.
It's governed by Ofcom.
Yeah.
JFMG, PMSE are the governing.
Yeah. So once we run out of available channels, we then can't use any more microphones. And we're normally we have a team behind the scenes who book all of our frequencies in, and they have conversations back and forth with the governing body to make sure that we've got frequencies for all of our microphones. And as I say, it's one of the key factors of microphones that you don't really see the effects kind of as a client or an organizer. It's us kind of managing that for you. And once they run out, that's the microphone's running.
And there can be a bit of a issue about getting those frequencies as well. So if you last minute decide you want another 10 channels, we need to make sure we can get those frequencies so we can actually deliver those channels for your event.
Yeah, especially in the busy periods, getting lots of frequencies last minute can sometimes be a bit of a challenge for our fantastic guy in our office who does that for us.
As you all know, we like a challenge. So
yeah, we love a challenge.
We're not averse to it.
Alice has got a really good question. I was going to touch on that. So, what other sessions are you guys looking at? This session has been really useful. Thank you, Alice. Nice. So next week we have another session. Me and Andy are going to be back again, and the session title is "Bigger Isn't Always Better."
Is it not?
Please pardon any puns that you might have taken from that. No innuendos, please. The idea is we're going to be looking at display options. So how can we get your content for your show, and how can we make that look as good as possible? And that was the terrible use of language. How can we make that look good? And why sometimes having a big screen isn't necessary, and why smaller screens might be more appropriate in certain situations. So we're back next week to tell you more about that. I want to thank our technical team behind the scenes.
Also on that note, we always want to improve what we're doing. So if you have any feedback of how we can improve how we're presenting to you, then feel free to drop us a line. It'll be really handy.
Cool. So keep an eye on our social media for when they're coming. So it's a group of 4 sessions, and then we're going to potentially do some more after that. But yeah, keep an eye on our social media, our LinkedIn, our Facebook, and all of those other things. If you have any questions, please throw us a message. I think our email address is hello@aztechuk.com.
Sounds right.
And if you want to chat to us offline, please do. I've been Cam, and this is Andy.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching the AV Masterclass.